Psalms 23 says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Over 60 million people. That's the number of deaths in the world in 2019. Over 2,800,000 people. That's the number of deaths in America in 2019. Over 64,700. That's the number of deaths in Missouri in 2019. The definition of death is the action or fact of dying. That means unless Jesus comes back to take us home, death is not an option. It's a fact. But how you choose to face death and where you choose to go afterwards is an option. You can face death with faith, or you can face death with fear. Faith is knowing that you're going to dwell in the house of the Lord forever. 151. That's the number of homicides in Kansas City in 2019. 110. That would have been the number of killings in Kansas City in 2009. I remember walking into this gas station and bumping shoulders with somebody that wasn't a friend. And after we went outside and exchanged a few punches, I remember staring down the barrel of a gun. I remember staring down the barrel of death. And with a little bit of fear, I looked at the guy and said, do what you gotta do. If it's my time to go, it's my time to go. And sure enough, he pulled the trigger, but nothing came out. I pushed him and took off, and eventually I got away. And I had to decide, am I invincible, or is it God telling me it's time to come home? The next morning, I found myself right here in this building, right here in this sanctuary, listening to Pastor George give a message of hope for my life. It was that day that I went down to the altar and never looked back. And it's that reason there were only 109 homicides that year instead of 110. So today, even when you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you don't have to fear, because He is with you, and His goodness and His mercy, they follow you. The dictionary goes on to say that death is the end of life of a person. But I think faith is knowing that death is just the beginning. I used to face death with fear, but now I face death with faith, knowing that I'm going to dwell in the house of the Lord forever.